Welcome to Business Prowess with Raphael and Dr. Andrea. Our show will bring you the best insights, ideas, and inspiration from successful entrepreneurs and CEOs in the business world. Don't miss out on the opportunity to learn from the best and stay ahead of the game. Sifu Raphael is the founder of 5 unique shows. He's a fitness professional, solutions expert, executive coach, and head instructor at Max Martial Arts and Fitness in New York. Dr. Andrea Adams Miller is an award-winning international keynote speaker, best-selling author, and CEO of the Red Carpet Connection Publicity, Publishing, and Talent Agency, and CEO of IgniteYourRelationship.com. Known as the Dream Maker, she makes visionaries' dreams come true, bigger than they ever dare to desire.
Dr. Andrea, happy Friday. How are you?
I am hunky-dory as always.
Yes, you are. And beautiful as always.
Well, thank you so much for saying that. It is a really exciting day because we have Alka Sharma and our lovely friend Steve Ramona on with us. And we are going to be doing some fun jibber-jabbering about the art of networking, serving before selling, which I love, which is super important, to, I think, to both of us, right?
Absolutely. And I think we should definitely bring them on because we can talk about them all day long, but I think they need to come and share with us. So let's go ahead and bring them on.
Cool.
Steve, Alka, thank you both for joining us on this amazing show, Business Prowess. How are you both doing today?
Doing amazing. Thank you so much for having me on again. And it's always a pleasure.
Incredibly well here. Thank you. And I'm excited to be on.
So let's start. Oh,
you're on.
All right. Sifu and I always talk over each other because we're both so excited. So, all right, we'll start with Steve. So, Steve, I know you have a podcast and you're a super connector. I love that. That obviously that really thrives with me. I love relationships and people. Tell me what gets you really excited about networking and connecting with people.
When you bring value to somebody, and at the end of your call, they go, "It's the best call I've ever had. You really gave me something I could work with. How can I support you? How can I help you?" That gets me up every morning because it happens all weekly, if not daily, because I'm always thinking about how to bring value first before anything else. Transformational, not transactional.
Beautiful.
Good.
And Alka?
Yeah, for me, networking is hugely important. I love to connect with people and I like to be around like-minded individuals. And I'm always at, events and conferences, which allows me to really get to know individuals. So for me, it's not about the transaction, but how can I get to know you and serve you at a higher level, and the rest follows. So I think it's very important to build connections because networking is your next best currency. So that is hugely important for me to get to know individuals.
And how about you, Sifu? What would you say about that?
Well, I got to tell you, it's such joy when I actually get to connect with people like I've connected with all of you. And every time, I got to tell you, I'm very selfish. I connect with people so they can teach me, they can help. Every time, yes, I want to bring value too, but when someone is speaking, I am all ears. It's like one big ear comes out, right? And I just want to listen to the knowledge that flows from every connection that I come across. And for me, it's about the connections that are going to impact the world. This is why, for me, it's important to connect with people. It's important to network. It's important to share someone's gifts with someone else. Like Steve has already introduced me to a couple of people. Dr. Andrea, you introduced me to so many people. For me, it's always about that network, because the older I get, the less I know. And I'm like, what do I mean I know less? I keep learning, but yet the world is so vast and with beautiful people. Bring them bring them to me.
Yeah. I absolutely love it. And to me, even though I use the word networking only in the fact that people have an idea of what networking means. It means pulling people together to meet people. However, for me, it's not transactional. I often call networking where people come together and it seems like a one night stand where like you'll meet people who want to give you your card, sell you something, and then you never see them again. And I'm looking for a long-term relationship where I am now going to know them, for years and be able to have a lovely relationship with them that may transpire into some transactional business where we either I hire them or they hire me or introduce us to other people that we may or may not hire or JV or collaborate with or sponsor something. But more than that, it's the access of who they are, the support that they can generate, the connections they can make in times of other needs that are beyond monetary. And I call that, I loved what you were saying, Alka, because I talk about how relationships are really the most important asset, worth more than gold, worth more than money. And I'm known as the woman having a $15 billion Rolodex. And that money, that number only came from looking at the people I knew, and we kind of like added up some financial worth, so we know at a minimum that the financial worth would be 15 billion that people have as assets. But to me, that's not the purpose of that. It's worth way more than that because of who they are and how they show up. So yeah, super important to me. Yeah,
It is, and you make it easy for people to connect with you. One of the things that I noticed about you as well is that you know people, but it's not like, oh yeah, I met that person 10 years ago. No, you know people and you keep the connections alive. And that's one of the things that we all should do. When we're connecting with someone, I think it's important to get to know them a little deeper. And for me, it's always about how can I serve? How can I help? And tell me more, right? Because I'm so curious.
I think that's the basis of building connections is to get to know someone. I mean, I meet everyone every single day, at the gym, at events. And I always make it a point, even after I've been at an event, I always make it a point to keep in touch because people, not necessarily, I mean, there was a time in my life that I would wait for someone to reach out to me to say, but now I've changed my mindset. And if you need to go out there and approach people, but approaching and then keeping in touch. Now, not many of us, because our lifestyle nowadays, we don't have the time, most of us anyway, to keep in touch with people. But now I make it a point to keep in touch. And when you are with that person, you want to really get to know them. So I really make it a point to say, hey, how are you? How can I help you? How can I serve you? What can I do for you? Because people love that. And every day I'm always like sending messages to people on Messenger. Hey, how are you? Because that brightens their day and people love that because we don't know what people are going through. So when it comes to relationships, I am so huge on that. I'm always keeping in touch with people. Hey, just sending them a note. Hey, how are you? What are you doing? How can I help you, etc. So I think that really helps people. But just being mindful of other people, what they may be going through, if they're going through a hard time, but just keep in touch with them just goes a long way.
Yeah.
A simple text, right? And Steve, I'm going to get to you next, but for example, I have a gentleman that was on my show back in 2020. Every Friday, he sends me a text. Happy Friday, coach, without fail. So sometimes he started doing it. So sometimes I try to beat him, but still, if I miss a step, he's there every time. And the guys, he's literally, he's training people all over the world. I'm like, where are you now? He's like, oh, I'm in this country. I'm over here. I'm in this. But he never fails to reach out to me. And that That is huge. Steve, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, because you remember him. 4 years later, you still remember him. Top of mind is always powerful. One of the things about this networking thing that people lose sight of to ask. I've made $25 million in deals, partnering people up, and I didn't make a lot of money doing it because I never asked. And a quick story, I met a guy who made $250 million just serving for his company. It's a lot of money in 1 year. So he's very successful. And he said what I was missing, I wasn't asking. And I wasn't, because I made very little money in those deals. Now that I bring value, give them, I call it a Christmas gift. We all waked up as a 6-year-old, ran to the Christmas tree. What do? We opened a gift. What did we also do? We gave our brother or sister or mom or dad a gift. Gift exchange. We call it a number of things in all over the country, all over the world. But that's what you do when you network and bring value to people. I call people asset. Like you mentioned, Dr. Andrea, asset. We're all in the people asset business. Every single person listening on this call, on the show, or in the world, you got to take care of your people. When you take care of your people, they take care of you. And I always say that first person you meet, you may not be a client or work with them as transactional, but who do they know? And it's happened to me many times. I've met 2 billionaires that way because of somebody's network.
I love it. Hey, Alka, we're very transparent here because we're very conversational as well. I went to show what you shared for your connection, and it's not pulling up. So if you want to look at that and see if there's a miss, I went to go look for it. Is it alkasharma.ca for .Canada?
No, Alka Sharma CEO. That's my Instagram.
CEO.
No, Instagram. That's my Instagram. Alka Sharma.
Oh, so there's no www. Okay, so you want us to find you on Instagram. The big difference. Okay, cool. Because I'm like, can't find you.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was my bad. Sorry. I just put
I'm like, all right, cool. Got it. We now have it because I was like, we cannot share how I cannot find you. I was trying to figure out which way to do that. So we are all
good. I'm
good.
sorry. Yeah.
It's all good. And
see how awesome she is? I got to tell you.
Yeah, because I was like trying to share the love for you, and I'm like, can't find you. All right, so we will fix that and put that up for you. So, well, let's use that as a tool or as a caveat. So you like to use Instagram for people to connect with you when you're on like media or things, and tell us about like how that serves you and how you're using it and why that is a success for you.
Instagram, I like to use Instagram because it really helps, because I'm in the real estate space. So I'm a real estate investor, and I use real estate to really help women so I really get clients that way, and I really am finding it's the best way for me, as I'm posting, and that's just one of the best tools. I mean, there's Facebook, but for me, Instagram really works to connect with people. And that's how I'm able to get clients that way.
Cool. And I fixed it. It is now up. I said I fixed it, and it will start scrolling now in just in a couple minutes. There, we'll get it.
Thank you.
I'll pop it in again right there. So there we go, Alka Sharma CEO, so that we have that up for you periodically.
Thank you.
What are the downfalls of Instagram for you?
I haven't experienced any downfalls, but as we know, sticking to that one platform. I mean, yes, we need to be like everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, etc. But for me, I've not experienced any downfalls.
That's good.
I just think it's a great tool. For me, it's a great tool. So I'm always recommending. That is my handle that I want people to reach me at. And so I think it's just one of the best ways.
Cool. I have not found it as well, I think because I just never, I have some stuff that copies to it, but I never think to check it. I don't look at it. It's just not my thing that I've been doing.
What are you on, Neely? What social are you on?
Oh, I'm almost on everything except for Twitter, or X or whatever you want to call it now. And I never liked that. I never liked Twitter because I felt like I was seeing a whole bunch of shortened links and gobbledygook. I want to read real things, and I want to see pictures and I want to comment and engage. So I'm not opposed to Instagram. But in the past, I only saw Instagram as flat pictures where I didn't see it in moving, and I couldn't scroll and talk as quick as I do. I'm super fast. But I really like TikTok. I've been really enjoying TikTok,
TikTok.
and have some stuff ready to do more with it. So that I'll be, people will be seeing me more on that, and then I'll just probably copy it to Facebook. But I also do use LinkedIn all the time too. So
You know, it's interesting when we were talking about all these platforms, but they're all copying from each other. Which one is the hottest trend? And then the other ones go, "Ooh, I want that too." And then so there's always this fight, I guess, is to capture people, and that's to our benefit. We need to use that to network better. One of the things, and we're also talking about serving before selling. And I think in the platforms, I get every day, hey, I love what you're doing. Buy my product. I love what you're doing. You need to come on you need to get my newsletter. You need to do this. You need to do that. And it's become so cumbersome that now anybody who's legitimately reaching out to me because maybe they want to hire me for a speaking engagement, I'm almost deleting everything. So it's like, do I have time to go and read every little post that somebody says they found me and they love what I'm doing? And then I'm also getting a lot of people who automatically, I love connecting, but I don't like connecting where somebody subscribes me to their newsletter without my consent. And all of a sudden, I'm in all of these, I'm getting bombarded with all this stuff. So how do we serve before selling? Do we ask? And I think we should ask, hey, I have this amazing newsletter. Would it be okay if I had you subscribe to it, or at least check it out? But I'm not getting that ask. And Steve, you talked about the ask, and I think that's the proper ask, and we're missing that. And it's becoming annoying where people are taking it because I have a newsletter. You just need to subscribe because it's the best thing since sliced bread. Well, I need to make that choice because how many newsletters can I read in one day when I'm trying to do all the things I'm trying to do?
Exactly.
So it's important for all of us to ask that question, I think. Go ahead.
Sifu, can I just interject? That's an amazing point. But there were two things that I just wanted to just tag along with what you just said. One, when it comes to social media, there was always new trends, right? There's threads, and I'm not sure how many of you are using threads, but there's that trend. Now, every year, there's always going to be a new trend that we need to follow. So I think that's, trend is one thing. I love trends, even real estate, any when it comes to trends, I love that. I'm on the bandwagon because I want to learn and I want to grow, and so teach me. The second point, what you just said, when it comes to, asking, or when it comes to relationships. Now, I was recently introduced to someone. And I was on a summit, Sifu, as we know, Marianne. Now, through Marianne's summit, Dr. Reed approached me. And so we got on a call, and it was so great to get to know him. But then Dr. Reed said, oh, Jose, he wants to connect with you. So I said, okay, well, he's heard about you, and he wants to connect with you. I said, amazing. And I love getting to know people and other entrepreneurs. So we got on a call. I didn't know Jose wanted to sell me. So he wanted me to be part of his academy. And I'm thinking, okay, well, that's a sell, but I didn't know what the call was about. But I had to very gently kind of just, I will connect with you when the time is right. But, I didn't know what the call was going to be about. But anyway, it's good to meet him.
Oh, well, Jose's a great guy too, but you're right. If no matter how great a person is, if we don't know what the intent of the call,
yes,
it's a waste of our time. Agreed.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I'm going to step and say something here. So Jose's my client. So and Jose, 80% of his calls often end up in a sale. And one of the things that and he just is a natural sharer, because for him it is an automatic that why wouldn't you want to be part of the community and connect with all those people. So although it could be seen as salesy, I also would like, I would love for you to reframe it as it's an open invitation. So if you're ready, please come on and join. And then if you're not, do like you do and say, not for me now. And I'm sure that he's not offended, not because he's never offended by that, but he is one of the people. And what I love about it, and sometimes I have some envy in that, because sometimes I serve so much, I never ask the people for things that they very might want, especially if something. Now, I don't know if you said, you might have said nothing about this, but if you said, "Oh, I love networking. I'm looking for more people. I want to connect," and then it would make sense for him to go, "Hey, well, then you should probably join this community." And so, but regardless of him or whoever it is, I think that it's okay within meetings. Sometimes, like people will in his community, they call them virtual coffees, but we get locked in that it's a virtual coffee and it's only connection. But I would like people to actually shift that a little bit too. It's connection, but it's connection on how can you also take that relationship and do something more with it. So what I would have loved to have heard is you, Alka, in turn to say, you know what, I love that. Not really, I'm not really looking for that right now, but in turn, I'm looking for da 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 da. Who can you connect me with, or how can we play together? So then that way, both people are again not pushing to sell, but sharing what opportunities are there. Because if we don't share, just like if we don't promote, if we don't talk, like if you're on a radio show like this and you never say anything that you do, then we just think you're talking. We don't know that all of us have products and services, and we all could be really good friends and do fun things together.
No, absolutely. I had a very open mind, and I knew that, there was synergy. I mean, he even said himself that there is synergy, that we will be doing things together. So absolutely, I took it with an open mind, but it's just that I just told him, for me right now, I will not join your academy, but give me some time and then I will. So definitely, he's a great guy, and it was just great to
Cool.
get to meet him. So he absolutely understood that there is synergy that we do have.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, everybody, this is what I speak around the world about. Shut up and listen. And I say that harshly because people don't shut up. I mean, they shut up, but they don't listen. Think about Zoom. I talk about this all the time. I mentor hundreds of businesses, owners, and entrepreneurs. When you're in a Zoom box for a meeting for a group, how many boxes go black? Now, maybe they're going to the bathroom, getting a cup of coffee, and that's okay. But are they really listening? And I'm going to go back to Sifu. What are they learning? So if you shut up and listen, and then I do the ask, and I love what you said, Dr. Andrea. That's what I learned from this gentleman, the 250 million, is I ask now. Because I know when I get done with a call, and Alka, I love how you did that, is I've met Jose, wonderful guy. We're going to work together. I'm going to speak at one of his academies.
Yeah.
But I asked, and if people, here's the disconnect that people have that I talk to is, well, I bring all this value. They never ask me, hey, how can I support you or help you? Then you ask, hey, Sifu, hey, I'm looking for professional athletes retired, and I'm looking for celebrities. I'd love to have them on my podcast. People are not going to go, what an idiot, what an a-hole for asking that, because you brought so much value. That's the power of building a relationship and bringing value. I get so passionate about this because I've seen it over and over and over in my call. My first thought when I jumped on this show today is, how can I bring value? And that's in multiple ways. So, Alka, thanks for bringing that up, because I run into that all the time. People don't get it yet. They're still learning.
You're welcome. No, I mean, people are amazing. I love connecting with entrepreneurs. And so, Jose is an amazing guy.
Yeah.
I appreciate bringing that up, and he would totally be totally okay with us talking about him.
Absolutely. Doing great stuff.
When we consider all the connections that we can make, and even the ones that we don't choose to make, like Alka, you chose not to make that connection. Are we leaving money on the table because we chose not to make a certain connection? Can we go back and say, hey, you know what? I've been thinking about it, and actually I do want to make the connection, or I am so happy because I would have lost money had I made that connection.
I'm going to answer that right away because
Go for it.
yeah, because what I teach is a lot, and I was a big proponent of this, serving so many people and not telling them to say, hey, this is not working, or they're not taking action and they're draining time. I actually lost thousands of dollars spending time with people I could not work with. And that's okay. A servant's heart says no to people because it's not a fit for me. It's not a fit for them. They could go find that person that's really going to up level them and bring them up. So that's another thing I hear all the time. I just don't want to say, I just want to say no because you're benefiting both people.
Great, great. By the way, I had no idea you had magic arms, because when you put your arm out, half of it disappeared.
I know. I
Well, I didn't realize it was it looks so good around your head that I didn't even realize it was a virtual.
Yeah.
I really thought that was as well.
I'm Italian. I use my hands. I got to keep them down.
Yeah, I use
Keep
mine
them
all
in
the time.
fire, keep them in. This is the virtual world right here. But yeah, connections are valuable if you work them. Also, I think we need to understand that it's not a one-way street. It can't be like, hey, I connected with you, now send me a bunch of clients, without you paying it forward. So when we consider the art of networking and how to show up even at a networking event, maybe you saw something in your neighborhood and you said, I've never been to this. When I heard about it, I'm going to go to it, but you know nobody. So the question is, do you bring a stack of business cards that are going to get thrown in the garbage anyway? Or do you make those connections a little deeper? And instead of connecting with, you brought 500 cards with 500 people who are going to throw your card away, what if you connected with 5 or 6 people that are going to remember you? And if you're interested, I have a tip.
I love that idea. I was at an event in March here in Toronto. It was a real estate event, and people, it's just human nature. People want to give you their card. Oh, so people just gave me their cards. So whether I asked for it or not, they just gave it to me. But for me, what's important now, and I was once upon a time, I would be doing that too. I would, if I were to meet with someone, I would just give them my card. So I think now I've kind of reframed, and I think my mindset now is to, hey, how are you? Get to know someone and really build that conversation. So now I'm all about conversations. Now I'm all about building that relationship so that, we can go for coffee sometime, so that when we build that connection, then, things evolve. Conversation, like networking, conversation, communication, see if you are the expert, is a skill, is an art. And how do you communicate so people love you, people want to connect with you? So everything is a step-by-step process, but it's a skill. So I think for me, if I'm at an event, I kind of, if someone gives me their card, I'm thinking, okay, well, I didn't ask for your card, but I want to get to know you first. It's important to me.
It is. Would you mind? I'm going to share a video with you guys on speaking prowess. Take a look.
Welcome to Speaking Prowess, where we believe in the power of communication to transform lives. If you're ready to take your communication skills to the next level, we have a lineup of some of the most influential communication experts in the industry. These are the voices that will guide you on a journey to enhance your ability to connect, influence, and succeed. At Speaking Prowess, our mission is clear: to empower you through effective communication. We know that mastering the art of communication isn't just about what you say. It's about how you say it and the impact it has on every aspect of your life. So take action now and get ready to embark on a journey towards personal and professional growth.
Thank you for letting me share that. And when you said communication, I was like, yeah, absolutely. It's the words that we use. Even in that video, you see the guy yelling at the young lady at the desk, and she can't believe. I mean, I'm only assuming. I don't know what he said to her, but it's the words that impact us. So the words that we use when we first meet a person, it's how do we make that connection? If we start immediately with an ask, are we really connecting, or we're just looking for a handout? That's a question I leave for you guys.
Always ask questions. I work with introverts every day, every week. They're like, I want to be better in sales. I said, write down 3 questions every time you meet somebody. How long have you been doing what you do? Where do you, 3, 4, and one of those questions leads to a major conversation. The question of serving before selling. Look at, we've been talking for 30 minutes. Questions are the key. Any leader will tell you, you're all leaders. When you ask questions and shut up and listen, magic happens.
It does. It does.
So,
And Laura McNeil loves you, Alka.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Laurie. I love you too. She's
Yeah,
just amazing. I love Laurie.
yeah, she's been on the Heroes Rising show, and we need her to come on the other shows as well, maybe on this one. So, Dr. Andrea, you help people connect. You have this way about you. You don't sugarcoat stuff, and that's one of the things I love about you. You really don't sugarcoat it. You tell it like it is. And how does that help you make better connections?
well, I want to sing "She's Got a Way About Her." Don't know what it is. Um, yeah, well, I'll answer that, and I have a question for you guys, like an advice. I'd like to hear your opinion. Um, I care about people heart and soul so deep. If you look here, that NKAB, that's a personality science based code assessment that Sifu and I both use as tools. And so my nurture is 25. It's the highest it can be. And I literally care about people so much and remember them. And I have this Rolodex in my head that when I meet people, I'm automatically making connections. I've always described it as an old library card. Like if you pull out the shelf here, and let's say Steve is in here, and it says, "Oh, see Super Connector, see podcast, see San Jose, sing the song. Do you know the way to San Jose?" That's all in there. And then so those are the cross references. Oh, was on with Elka, was on with Sifu. Boom, business prowess. All these different spider webs of information are in there. So the second I'm with someone else, I think, oh, or maybe somebody's related to Alka, but I think, oh, that reminds me of Steve. Boom, open that up. Steve's the person to connect with. That goes on in my head constantly. So I don't know if it's, considered super genius. I don't know if it's considered, brain disorganization. I don't know whether it's considered, crazy or genius. It could be one or the other. I know it could be a little ADHD, but it allows me to I'm constantly thinking of connections. And I find it interesting. I'll meet other people and I'll say, "Do you know anybody who does?" And they'll be like, "Nope." And I'm looking at, or even similar to, and they're like, "Nope." And I'm thinking, well, they either don't know anybody or they're not realizing, they don't know how to access that. And I think of it as the old Rolodex, because you flip it and you can see a whole bunch of different names and all the information that pass. But I'm super high knowledge. That's the second on my thing, where I am constantly researching and collecting data, and then I store it not only in my head, but I make notes in my phone so that when I look up somebody, I often have information about them so that I can recall and reuse it, and then think how to put those pieces and how to put things that people never thought were puzzle pieces that would fit together, and find out that even though they may not look like they fit, I should use different hand motions than that. That looks like I'm doing something that they fit together. That also doesn't look appropriate. Apparently, all my hand gestures look like sexual things right now. But how do we put the people together? Thank you. Here's the church. Here's the steeple. There we go. So that's what happens for me. So, but my question to you guys is I have this thing in my head that I have this obligation that I have put upon myself that when people introduce me to other people, I make a note that I've been introduced. So that way, if anything in my lifetime transacts from that, even though there was no contract, no agreement made, I want to make sure that person at some point is thanked, is financially rewarded or gifted, or there's a give back with another connection because they connected me. And I have found in the past sometimes I found a little disappointing. And I know part of that is me. I shouldn't have an expectation, maybe, or maybe I should. Like I've connected people together and they made millions, hundreds of thousands, or maybe more. And they didn't even remember that I connected them. And then at some point I'll go, "Oh, didn't I introduce you?" And they'll say, "Oh, yeah." And then I get like a $5 gift card for coffee or something. Yeah.
Well,
I want
I'm
to
going to answer that because that I mentor on affiliate programs and rewarding people all the time. It's money left. See, you said earlier, money left on the table. That's money left on the table. To me, it's a win-win-win. Client gets a great company to work with, coach, whatever it may be, and I get paid a piece. That's how I make a living. And I make a lot of money with a living doing that, because when you do an affiliate reward, it's just happiness. Everybody's happy. And it's a little less transactional. And the people that just give me a $5 gift card or a virtual high five, I go in a loving way next. That's great. But as I look at people and they're good people, and somebody has an affiliate program and somebody doesn't, I'm just human. I'm going to lean there first and then offer the other opportunities second. Because this person's willing to give a piece of their income to me. This person really isn't. Because I had people reach out, "Hey, I don't do affiliate programs. Just from the love of your heart, you should be referring people to me." Not a bad statement, but it really, okay, thank you, Sifu, because I was backed up like, okay, these are, $25, $30, $50,000 partnerships. This is not a $100 CRM program. So I even have a guy that builds affiliate programs for people, and it's great because what a great way to reward people. And in my business, my mastermind, we pay thousands of dollars to people if they give us a referral. And you know what? The emails you get. But here's the most important thing, the top of mind. They're going to always remember us, go, "You know what? They paid me $1,500. The next time I talk to somebody, I'm going to do like Dr. Andrea does, go through my library card and go, hey, here's a fit." Not only because I want to give them a great connection, but also on the side note is a little monetizing that as well. I don't do it. I've never done a connection monetizing ever. It's so far from my mind. But if it comes to me with monetization, it's the most powerful thing in the world.
It is. Absolutely. So, Dr. Andrea, how many children are you responsible for?
Children? Like my children?
No, because you've connected so many people.
Oh, I've also connected people together. Yes, I've had 5 marriages created. Well, actually 7 that were created. 2 ended up deciding not to continue in that relationship. But one was due to severe mental illness where the person was unwilling to get help. And then the other one, an addiction situation. So those are things that, you can't always know going in when I connected the people. And I think the relationships they did have before that they didn't go so well were good at the beginning and allowed those people to express different lives. So most of them did have children. So, yeah.
So some of those connections are not monetary connections, like Steve
Those
was
were
saying.
not.
You can make money, but I mean, just the joy of knowing that 2 people are happy because of you, because you made that connection. So sometimes let's not forget that it's all only about money. It's about, what is your purpose in this world? Is it just to make the money, or is it to make a difference? And the difference should be in people's lives. Yes, if I connected 2 people and they were able to create a multi-million-dollar contract because of that connection, yeah, you know what? Don't forget me. I'm over here still. I'm the one that put you guys together, because that deal would never have come because you guys were worlds apart. And it was me. I was the bridge. You need to pay the toll.
That's a great phrase. And you're the marketing. The other thing I forgot to mention too is I'm doing all the I reached out to my network. We've all spent, there's value to that. Thousands of dollars of value. So when you do what you just said, Sifu, it's somebody has to realize the little work they had to do. I mean, I put two people together, one email, a week later, they had a $25,000 deal and they paid me a little piece of that. One email. They connected, they said, we're working on it, and they signed a deal, and they don't always work that fast, and you don't pay. But you're saving businesses, entrepreneurs lots of time.
Do you tell them up front, Steve? Is that something that's talked about up front with the affiliate or the connections that you do?
I tell people all the time, a couple things I teach is if I like a product or service, a coaching program, hey, Sifu, do you have an affiliate program? Yes or no? I do. But here's the caveat. You know what, Sifu? I'd love to become part of it. Every week or once a month or whatever, I'm going to highlight your product or service to my large network. He wins, I win, and of course the client wins. I also teach this. I talk to entrepreneurs, and 90% aren't making money. I don't know if it's that high, but we all know a lot of them aren't making money. And they tell me that. I go, here's how to make money. Well, how? Yeah, tell me. Go through your network and look at the product and service that you like. Reach out to them and say, hey, Tony, I love your CRM product. I'm actually using it. Do you have an affiliate program? I do. I'd love to highlight you in my network. And next week, take an hour every week and go through part of your network. Go, hey, I found this cool CRM. I'd love to share it with you and introduce you to the founder. I do that weekly. And again, it's such a way to serve, but still make money. So money's not so evil.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And
I appreciate you
connections. So go ahead, Dr. Andrea.
Alka, please, you.
Thank you. What I was just tagging along with what Steve said is connections. Connections is everything. I mean, money follows, but we cannot look at it and approach it from our mind subconsciously to say, oh, well, maybe, I'm going to get paid X, Y, Z, but money will follow. But we need to learn and have that mindset tweaking and say, okay, well, I want to help, I want to serve, I want to connect with you because I feel I want to connect with you. So don't always look at it from the money aspect because money is going to follow. But what are we doing? We need to approach it from, I want to serve. What's your purpose? And that purpose should be that I want to connect. And I'm about connecting with you. And Dr. Andrea, I want to also tag along to what you said because I think you have a gift. I would like to get to know you even better because I love your personality. And I think you do have a gift that you do have this Rolodex and you liked, and it's how you link. And again, that is an art form. That is a skill that not many people have. So yeah, I just want to congratulate you on that, is that you do have a skill.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate what you said, Steve, too, because you're right. It is easy for me to monetize and help for everybody, make wins for people when they have an affiliate program. A lot of the things I do is where like I might say, oh, well, Alka, have you specifically talked about creating this and doing this with Steve so that Sifu and then the three of you now because I see sometimes I don't see the end, but I see a possibility. I'm like, I need you two to talk and figure out what you can do together because I know there's money to be made there. And I know there's stuff that people need from both of you. And so I'm creating these joint ventures that are other people, and they still have to do the work to figure it out, but they would have never known each other. And so that's where I have another friend who's totally against that. He's like, you should never mention money, Andrea. And he actually thinks that's a icky ooh. But I've found that because I've done that so well for so many people, and I think that's my responsibility to teach people that my $15 billion Rolodex did not come for free. I've been in $35,000 masterminds. I've been in, I have a $25,000 coach. I've invested in traveling to things and events. The year before COVID, I did 173 events.
Hmm.
Some of them I was paid to be there. And some of them I paid to be there. Some of them I sponsored. Some of them were gifts. But I still had to sleep somewhere, eat somewhere, do all that, and and do business. And so I want people to be aware of that. So even if someone is, I think that there's just more that people need to be conscious of. So that way I probably wouldn't have ever even thought of it if it hadn't happened so many times where I'm like, wow, I am paying an awful lot of money to give everybody else what they need.
Yeah.
And
And I
so
love also what you said. I
yeah.
agree with you. It's connection first, because I think
Yeah.
90% of the people I meet, there's no monetization at all. Not even talked about. That's why I like framing it. Hey, do you have an affiliate program? So I know the people that I work with, I have 38 of them. And then the people I don't, they don't fit here. Then I go, but I love that you say that, because it's got to come. That's my first. Again, I'm going to go back to your mindset when you meet somebody in a connection is value, whatever that looks like. And I tell people, when you're having a bad day, you know the best thing to do? Go serve somebody. And I did that at a grocery store and bought some lady some groceries 3 years ago. Bad day at work. We walk out together. She starts crying. Her husband lost her job the week before. Didn't know how they're going to pay for the groceries. I had no idea. But that's a servant heart like you all have, that when we think that way, some of those crazy things, great things happen. So thank you, Alka. Appreciate you.
You're
Thank
welcome, Steve. Yeah, but absolutely, it's leading with value. How can you make someone's day? I mean, I like to look at it that way. How can I make someone's day? Even at the gym, even every day, I'm walking down the street, I say hi to someone, even if I see that they may be having a bad day. I don't know, but I'm always saying hi. Have a great day. I met someone at the gym this morning, and we were talking in the elevator, and I said, well, have a great day. Because what does it cost us to be good to someone? But it's always being mindful, and I'm always doing that. So, yeah, thank you.
And I love to
It's a long
add to
way.
that.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but I always, because I started in the health club industry at 18 years old. My family started. We learned names. If you didn't know the person's name, you look at the computer screen, go, hey, Sifu, have a great workout. And you'll eventually remember people. I built huge connections that way.
Uh-huh.
But when you go to the grocery store audience, you go to anywhere that's got a name tag. And if they don't go, excuse me, by the way, what's your name? Oh, it's Tony. Tony, thank you for the groceries. I appreciate it. It takes your connection to the next level.
Absolutely.
If you want to connect better, make sure you say your name clearly. I was just out at dinner and the waiter came over and they mumbled their name. And I stopped them and I said, could you say your name again? And then they're like, oh, this guy cares. He wants to know my name. Yeah, because you mumbled it. I could not understand it. And then finally, it was a simple, I think his name was Jake, right? It was a simple name. Yet you are afraid to show up. And how do you show up? Guys, I gotta thank you. I know we actually ran out of time. We ended this show a couple of minutes ago. People just don't know it yet. But Dr. Andrea, what do you say we continue this conversation at another date and have these amazing human beings join us again and again and again? And I know this conversation could be had for days on end. How do we connect?
Well, one of the things I was thinking, Sifu, we hadn't mentioned this before, but you have a 10,000 square foot facility that has, meeting rooms and meeting space. What a great opportunity if people wanted to network to partner with you and go to where you are in New York and create some kind of get together, and where people can learn how to speak better with speaking prowess, and then connect and bring people together for different fields of interest. I think that could be absolutely beautiful. And Sifu, pop up your banner, because wait, maybe I can see it quickly. Here, I got it. Here's how you can connect with Sifu. And then I'm Dr. Andrea Adams Miller. The Red Carpet Connection is the umbrella of my business. I own 3 different companies. And what we do is we help people's dreams come true so that they make their dreams a reality, so they can live a legacy and be in it now. So we're not just talking about leaving one behind when you're gone, but living in it now so you can experience it while you're still alive.
Right.
Well,
Love that.
Steve, thank you for helping us have an exceptional show. Our show is only exceptional because of the amazing guests we have, right, Dr. Andrea?
Absolutely. Always, always. Thank you guys so much for being here, and we'll be here again next Friday.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye,
you so
everybody.
much. Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you guys. Do us a favor. If you like this show, tell people. We want to know. We want to hear
Like it,
about
love
it.
it, comment.
Yeah, hit hashtag, please. Come back if you watched it again. Or if you really want to know what happened, go watch it again. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing one.
Thank you. Bye.